So we are starting to put things together, and we're starting to look at plays as whole concepts and then understanding what our rules for the progressions are. So we're going to take a look at this play. This is a empty formation. We have three receivers to the right, to the left. We have a fade and a bubble, and then here we have a hitch with a now route and an inside fade. Okay, so if we're going to stay on this front side, we're going to alert the inside fade. We're going to alert that. If nobody takes him, we're going to throw it, right? So in this case, that nickel Sam eventually does take him, right? So this would be a case if we're going to throw this alert, we want to back shoulder this, okay? Not over the top, because his angle is taking us, telling us that we have to, put it on the back shoulder. Now, the fact that the corner comes up tells us the now is not available. Okay, so in this early piece of this play, we alert this and decide right now if we're throwing it or not. If we don't like it for whatever reason, we don't like this get off, it doesn't feel comfortable, then we have to immediately get the ball out there before that linebacker can get there. Okay, and you can see sometimes those guys expand very quickly, so we have to. It's a quick decision. Like right here, you're deciding, okay, am I throwing it or not? And if you're not, the ball's got to come to that hitch right there, bang. It's right as he turns around on the outside shoulder. Now, if we're on the other side, okay, and we're working this fade piece, we're obviously taking a look at how they match, right? So immediately, as soon as that corner rotates, now we're looking at that matching piece on the fade. That again becomes a back shoulder. Okay, so from a progression standpoint on this side, we're looking to throw the bubble every time until they take it, and when they take it, now we can go over under on the fade. Okay, on this side, we're alerting the inside fade. Does the corner take them? Does the nickel Sam take them? And then making sure we get it out quickly if we don't like the alert. Let's check another one out here. This is a little cross hitch with a smash concept here. So on this side, again, in all smash concepts, we want to read the outside cornerback, okay? Read the outside cornerback, and then take this throw if this guy goes back, right? If he takes a step backwards, if he starts to backpedal, if he's at 10 yards, we can't throw this corner route. So it's 1 to 2 on him, and then we can look for this last piece. If we're on this side again, this is fade with an arrow, same as fade bubble. We're going to try to get the ball out here in my progression immediately unless the corner jumps it. So let's take a look at the front side first. So we drop back. We're looking at this cornerback right here, right? That's why we're going to take our 3 kick to balance. So we take our 3 kick to balance. We're watching that corner. He starts to pedal, and then we throw it to the outside there. Okay, as soon as he starts to pedal, as soon as that guy turns, when you see that turn, that's when we're going to throw it. Okay, because if he stays in between these two, he can play underneath the corner. And if we're not patient enough to take the hitch, and we throw this corner route, he's going to run underneath it and intercept it. So we have to be patient enough to take that. And again, if you don't like that, you can work to this other piece on the inside. Let's look at the left side. And in the second that this corner rotates is when, if we happen to be on this side, we would, look to either go on the back shoulder here or over the top. Okay. I'm going to pick a couple other ones here just to get us a look. Now, this is a 4-2-5. Okay. So we've got, this is the read side. This is the away side. We have Sam, Mike, and Will. Okay. Here is our alert, is the seam post, and then we're progressing 1 to 2, all right, the short arrow route, if you're on this side, to the curl route. Why? Because we want to see if someone takes the arrow route. If they take the arrow, that gives us an opportunity to throw the curl. On this side, certainly this would be an opportunity with some kind of rotation or fox help or some kind of solo situation where the rover safety is accounting for number 3 vertical in some way. and you see this guy go over, we can work here. We get the wheel alert in the box. We can work over here. So both are correct, but let's just take a look at the front side first. We check our alert right now. I know we don't have the alert, right? This guy's standing right where he's going, so we're off of it right now. The second thing is now, hey, once I'm off the alert, I'm looking at my flat defender. He takes it, right? He takes the arrow route hard, right? Then I know I've got that nice curl route coming inside, okay? Now, if I look at the other side, with the rover safety, if we were working to the left, and that this guy starts to fox and he zone turns and bails, I can throw that curl route to that side too. This is absolutely a good situation to throw it out there. Okay, let's do this one. Another form of flood. Normally, flood would be this guy. The middle number 2 receiver runs a 10-yard out, and then he runs the arrow. We simply flip this. Now he's going to be in the flat, and he's going to be deeper, right? So no big deal. On this side, here's free safety. We get a little rover safety walking over a little bit more, right? Maybe to account for, a solo situation where he's going to account for number 3 vertical. And maybe that tells us, hey, maybe these two guys are in a 2 read here playing palms, okay? So again, if you have a rover safety working over to the trip side, you have a will in the box, you can always work over here, and that's what we did. So let's take a look at that. You can see that rover safety goes, and now we know we can throw the down and out, right? Nothing wrong with that. But if you look over to the front side, again, we're going to alert the go, right? We're going to alert the go, and we're going to take this flat route immediately. And if he is covered the way he is here, he's covered, right? Then we'd have to progress to our deeper down and out. And this is what it should look like right there. As soon as that corner jumps it, right? We see that corner jump that. Now we know that we have to work to the inside piece here, okay? And it's going to be sort of an inside throw. You can't throw it out here. When you've got guys outside like that on a down and out, you're going to have to put it on the body, right? Not necessarily out in space. Let's check out another one here. Here's a flood concept. Okay, so here we are in flood, and this happens to be a 2x2, but we're free releasing our running back to create the flood concept. Okay, and again, we're in a 4-2-5 look. This is split field coverage. Here is the corner, nickel Sam, free safety, Mike, Will, rover safety, and corner. We get outside technique here, so I'm expecting some kind of some kind of palms coverage where this guy rotates on a flat or a bubble, right? Some kind of cloud or some kind of palms coverage where he really is hard corner, and they trade this off, okay? Palms. And on this side, we get an inside man. So we don't know whether we're going palms or this is some kind of mix where the 2 read occurs right here, okay? But regardless of that, here's our progression, and this is what is really important. You don't have to decipher whether this is palms or 2 read or cover 2 or whatever it is. All you have to be thinking about is my first progression is in the flat, and I'm throwing it to him as long as no one's there, right? Take the burden off of knowing everything, because you're not going to know everything. Sometimes guys bust, sometimes guys are in the wrong position, sometimes they fall down, sometimes they're not doing the right things, right? So if you can alleviate yourself of that and knowing, hey, I've got an arrow route and I'm going to throw it every single time, right? So here we go. I drop back and we look at that, nickel Sam takes him, right? Right there, we know that we can't throw in the flat, right? That's the key. If we can't throw that in the flat, then our eyes come right here, right, to our down and out, and then we should have that. We can throw that out there on the numbers, okay? So that's what we're looking for. Now, if this nickel Sam took a step back, or this corner rotated up and they switched somehow and played palms, that would change what we're looking at. But as long as this guy is free, we throw it to him. If he's not, if he's accounted for like that, then we can't throw it to him. Then we go to our second progression. Okay. If we happen to be on the back side, curl flat, you can see that sometimes these guys will sink, right? I want you to watch this cornerback. He sinks and then he drives, right? And that's tough, right, as a quarterback. So again, if I'm thrown over here, I'm going to throw it to him every single time until he's covered. But that's why we got to take our drop, right? That's why we take a rhythm drop. 1, 2, 3, kick to balance, so you can see this play out, right? You can see him drop and then drive. Now I'm throwing the curl, right? And by taking that 2.4 to 3 second drop, you're going to get that. You're going to allow that to play itself out. Let's do one more here, and we'll stay with the flood concept. Let's see if I can do something with a trips here. Let's go. Okay, so here we are with a different version of the flood concept. You can see this is the number 3 receiver. Okay, and we're going to see what happens defensively. But again, first off, I wanna throw my alert, right? If this guy falls down, we can throw the alert. If he doesn't, we're off of it. He clears him out, and now we're working the flood arrow to the down and out. Let's see how it plays out here. All right, so you can see that nickel Sam really doesn't do much, right? He doesn't really do much, and he sort of reacts, but you see how we gain leverage on him, okay? On the previous one, this guy was outside of the receiver. We can't throw it. But if he gets leverage on him where he is outside of him, he's not really covered, right? And we can throw it, right? So let's get it out there to him. Because if he gets leverage on him, he catches the ball in the numbers and he turns up, that very well could be a touchdown, right? I've seen that happen a lot. You get the ball to a really fast back or number 3, he turns on a linebacker like that, he turns up the field and he's gone.